and girls, welcome to a brand new show, Premier League Roundup. Each and every Monday I'm going to be releasing a video where I look back on the weekend's results in the Premier League, what implications the results may have on the league table, talking points, or whether there was any controversy during the game. Now, I know we've got about 6, maybe 7 to some teams games left this season, but I thought I'd give this a little try out, see if we can get this going before next season. Now, if we go into the results from the weekend, we're going to start off with the early kickoff on Saturday, and that was Crystal Palace against Liverpool. Now, this game means a lot at both ends of the table. Crystal Palace, of course, are fighting relegation, and Liverpool, they're trying to cement their place in the Champions League places for next season. Crystal Palace, great start from them. They went 1-0 up. I'm not even going to try and pronounce this guy's name, but it was a penalty in the 13th minute that put them ahead. Now, the controversy and the talking point in this game was the fact that Sadio Mane should have been sent off. Now, he was already on a yellow card. He believed he was fouled by Andros Townsend, and he picked the ball up. Now, by the letter of the law, that is a yellow card. Mane should have been sent off. Now, the repercussions of this, it would have been, much different, because Liverpool, they may not have gone on and won this game, because down to 10 men away from home, Crystal Palace already 1-0 up, would have been a lot more difficult. But the referee bottled it, basically, never sent Mane off. And to rub salt into the wounds, start of the second half, 49th minute, Mane scores. The game then opens up a lot more and it becomes very much end-to-end. Now, Christian Benteke, he missed a couple of gilt-edged chances. One in particular. Wow, what a miss. Now, that could be crucial come the end of the season, especially when with 6 minutes to go, the player of the season for me, Mohamed Salah, pops up and scores again. Unbelievable season this guy's having. He set the bar really high, so he's got to get there again next season. But for this one, he's doing the business. And the game finishes Liverpool 2, Crystal Palace 1. Next game, we have West Brom against Burnley. Now, West Brom, they're down. They're relegated. They are not getting out of this. If they do, it would be the greatest escape of all time. Just not going to happen. They will be playing Championship football next season. Burnley, they've had a brilliant season. They are still chasing a top 6 place. And they took the lead after 22 minutes through Ashley Barnes. They got themselves 2-0 in front through Woods after 73 minutes. West Brom pulled a consolation goal back through Rondon after 83 minutes. But it was too little, too late. Burnley held on. They got the 3 points. They're still fighting for 6th. And West Brom, they're just going through the motions, waiting for relegation to be confirmed. Next game, we had Manchester United against Swansea. Again, implications at both ends of the table. Manchester United are trying to cement runners-up place. They're trying to confirm Champions League football for next season. And Swansea, they're trying to avoid relegation. Now, they've had a great run of recent, but they've started to dip again just at the wrong time. Now, Manchester United started this game excellently, took the lead after 5 minutes through Lukaku, and then they doubled their lead after 20 minutes with Alexis Sanchez scoring his 2nd goal for Manchester United since he left Arsenal. At that moment, you kind of thought, right, the floodgates are going to open. This could be 4, 5 or 6. But then Manchester United kind of sat back, and then it was kind of a little bit stale. Now, Swansea had a great chance with a fabulous save from David De Gea. Now, if they would have got that, it could have been a different game. It could have actually woke Manchester United up. But overall, it was a comfortable game and a 2-0 victory for Manchester United. Next game, we had Brighton against Leicester. Again, implications here. Brighton, they're fighting relegation. Leicester, they're also in the mix for a top 6 place, just behind Burnley. Now, Brighton, they're going to rue this one big time, because Leicester, a bit of a smash and grab, I feel. Brighton, they had so many chances. Kasper Schmeichel was in excellent form. And at 0-0 with about 15 minutes to go, They had the chance to take the lead. Glenn Murray missed the penalty, saved by Schmeichel. It kind of deflated Brighton. It kind of lifted Leicester. And they ended up going and taking the lead after 83 minutes through Iborra. The next thing you know, Leicester are down to 10 men after 87 minutes when Ndidi got sent off. You kind of think, right, last 3 minutes, injury time. This is a great opportunity to Brighton get back in the game and maybe snatch a point. But no, on the breakaway, 96th minute, Jamie Vardy, and it finishes 2-0 to Leicester City. Next game, we go to Newcastle against Huddersfield Town. This was one of them games, it was very edgy. Newcastle won the game, though, with a very late goal through Perez in the 80th minute. And yeah, like I said, that's how it stayed. 1-0 to Newcastle. Next game, we have Watford against Bournemouth. 10th against 11th. Watford took the lead after 13 minutes. Femenia. Bournemouth equalised in the 43rd with King from the penalty spot. Watford regained the lead through Pereira in the 49th minute. And then Jermaine Defoe in the nick of time, 92nd minute, snatches a point for Bournemouth. Great result that. Very entertaining game, and it finishes 2-2. We then move into what was a massive game. West Ham against Southampton. Now, Southampton are in massive trouble. West Ham also in massive trouble. Now, you remember what happened last time out with West Ham at home? Fans invading the pitch. Now, one of the talking points to this was that the stewards pitch side at the Olympic Stadium were all wearing football boots. And the reason for this was that if any fans actually entered the field, they would have more of a chance of catching them, I suppose, if they were wearing football boots. You've got to love that story. But it was a brilliant start from West Ham. Brilliant first half. They took the lead after 13 minutes through Mario. And Altovich doubled the lead after 17. And then he got his second of the game into injury time of the first half. 45 plus 4 minutes. Game was effectively over. West Ham were very professional in the second half, got the job done, and they win the game 3-0. And that will give the owners a little bit of breathing space. But for Southampton, they're in a hell of a lot of trouble, and their stay in the Premier League may well be over. Now we move into the late kickoff on Saturday, and it was Everton against Manchester City. This game was effectively over at half-time. Leroy Sané gave Man City the lead after 4 minutes. Gabriel Jesus doubled it after 12 minutes. And then Raheem Sterling put the game to bed after 37 minutes. Yannick Bolasie pulled a goal back after 63. But that was it. Now the possession for Manchester City during this game was 83%. And the game was at Goodison. Complete domination. Manchester City are now 1 game away from winning the Premier League. And who's their next game against? Manchester United. They can win the league at home to Manchester United. What a game that promises to be next week. Look forward to that one, that's for sure. Now we move into Sunday's games, and the first one up, of course, is Arsenal against Stoke City. Now, I'll be honest with you, for 75 minutes or so of this game, it was crap. It was absolutely awful. Stoke just done nothing but defend. They could have actually taken the lead from a corner straight away. Shaqiri actually bent it from a corner and it nearly went straight in. But apart from that, we were just not really at the races. And then we got a penalty. Aubameyang scored it after 75. He then doubles the lead on 86. And then I suppose you can say this is a talking point of the game. We then get another penalty in the 89th minute. Aubameyang, you think, will step up, take the penalty, score his hat-trick. But he passes it down to Lacazette. Now, in his interview after the game, he said Lacazette has just returned. And it would do his confidence the world of good. So he said to him, there you go, mate, take it. So brilliant, unselfish play from Aubameyang. And it's nice to see a bit of team spirit there, especially between the strikers. Now, of course, we was talking about the possession from the Manchester City game. Arsenal's possession in this game was 70%. But like I said, we were hardly knocking on the door. A lot of that possession was probably in midfield. And apart from that one chance from Shaqiri, which I feel was a bit lucky anyway, he never meant that, we pretty much dominated the game just without that cutting edge. But it's 3 points on the board. Stoke, they're in a lot of trouble. Second bottom. It looks like the championship for them. Unlucky lads. I can't say that I'm too disappointed about that. We go into the final game of the Premier League weekend, and it's Chelsea against Spurs. Huge game this one, because Chelsea, they're trying to take that last Champions League place away from Spurs, and they needed to win this game, but they lost 3-1. Now, this is the first time Spurs have beaten Chelsea at Stamford Bridge in the Premier League era, I believe. Unbelievable, that statistic. But Chelsea actually took the lead with Morata after 30 minutes. Christian Eriksen with an absolute beauty after 45 minutes. And then Dele Alli, 62 and 66, basically won the game, took it away from them. And yeah, I think Tottenham pretty much have cemented their place in the Champions League. I think the top four will pretty much be done. And for Chelsea, I think this is it for Antonio Conte. I think at the end of the season, he's gone. Whether they win the FA Cup or not, I think Roman Abramovich will do what he always does, and he will pull down the axe and he will say bye-bye. So there we go. That is the review of the Premier League games this weekend. Now we're going to have a look at the league table, and of course Manchester City top of the pile. As I said, one game, just one more game needed to win the Premier League. Manchester United sits second, Liverpool third, with Spurs in fourth. I think that is pretty much how the top four is going to be. I don't know what order second, third and fourth will be though. I think there's a few more twists and turns. Chelsea in fifth, Arsenal in sixth, Burnley, Leicester, Everton, Bournemouth. They make up your top 10. Watford in 11th, Newcastle, Brighton, West Ham. Great win that. Gave them a little bit of breathing space. Although they're still only 5 points clear of the relegation zone. Swansea, Huddersfield, Crystal Palace, and in the bottom three, Southampton, Stoke and West Brom. Now, West Brom are on 20 points and they are currently 10 points away from safety. Like I said, I think they are done. They are finished. It's between Stoke, Southampton, Crystal Palace, Huddersfield, Swansea, West Ham. I don't think Brighton are going to get dragged into it, nor Newcastle, nor Watford, Bournemouth. Now, if you're new around here, you know what to do if you haven't already. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Keep an eye out next Monday for the review of the Premier League matches over the course of the weekend. Leave your comments below and let me know what you thought of the games this weekend. It promises to be an interesting week. Can Manchester City clinch the title? We'll wait and find out. I'm out of here.
4, 3, 2, 1.